we think you should medically disqualify.
So
Okay.
no longer on the softball team.
And then I also got pregnant. If I would have never got injured, I would have never met him, never had the life we have now.
Right.
All the
Right.
things. Welcome to Dugouts to Daughters, where the love of the game comes full circle. I'm Trisha Hyde.
And I'm Alexa Williams. We're two former collegiate softball players who traded in our cleats for carpool lines, batting cages, and cheering from the stands as our daughters now take the field.
This podcast is all about the journey from the dugouts we once called home to raising daughters who are creating their own. We talk the highs, the lows, the lessons learned, and everything in between as sports moms who've been there and are living it all over again.
So grab your glove or maybe just your coffee and join us as we share stories, laughs, and a whole lot of softball.
All right, episode 2, man.
Episode 2.
This is
So
great.
episode 1, we spoke a little bit about my journey.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we
but I'm
can we
so
talk about though we had 400 people watch the YouTube and me and you are like, well, it's what
27.
447,
Not that I'm counting.
but we have determined that 20 was you and 20 was me. So really we had 400 people because
Yes.
we've been
Not
checking.
including Spotify and all the things, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
really
Spotify.
appreciate
Yeah, how many
all the
subscribers
support.
did we get?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
was
But
like a
it was
couple.
good. It was a good first one.
Couple of you. Yeah, it was good. We are going to be on Apple. Well, I mean, baby steps, okay, guys? If you guys are watching on YouTube, we got mics now. We do know our audio was a little janky in the beginning, okay? Just bear with us. So we're figuring that out. We will be on Apple Music here soon once. Well, let's be honest, we ain't figured anything out. Joey's doing it all.
Yeah.
We don't got time for that. We're too busy. But Joey's gonna figure that out for us. So yeah, episode 1 was about you and your journey, which I still think, well, like you said, I don't people like, that you in your neck of the woods, they didn't know like what you've been through.
No. I mean, the people that were with me during it,
Yeah.
they know, but like I mean, people know. I mean, they can do the math.
Right.
Layla's
Right.
almost 13 and I'm,
Hey, has
34.
has
So
has
they're
Layla
like
done has Layla done the
she
math?
has done the math. She
Okay.
tells me all the time, she's like, so I don't have to go to college, right, Mom? Because I've already been to college. And
Oh,
she's like, and I've already played college softball. I'm like,
yeah, technically.
good one.
Technically.
Um, but I'm so excited to get into your story because I feel like your story just like goes like this. Like
Yeah,
we've
it does.
got the makeup, we've got the photography, we've
Yeah.
got the clothes, we've got the softball. Like you're such a woman of like so many talents and I can't wait to
Uh,
dive into it.
I feel like I have a
So,
lot of personalities, I'll be honest.
not you have well,
Like,
no, you have one personality, but
oh,
you have many different talents, and
hmm.
I'm excited. I think people are going to be really excited to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
mean, if I feel like a lot of people online don't know the softball journey. Like, even when I went on Ashley's podcast, Courtney listened to it, and Courtney's been with my family since Bodie was 2 years old, so 8 years.
yeah,
And she's like, and I didn't even get into the nitty-gritty details of my softball journey. I mean, we didn't even talk about my college journey, and that is
yeah,
a huge, huge part of like, why I am the way I am today with college, playing college softball. But she didn't even know. Like, so I think a lot
yeah.
of people that have followed me online from my photography days on, or even makeup days on, they don't even know this whole other side of
A
me.
whole other side of you, which is a huge part of you.
Oh, it's
So,
it's actually like I would say the base layer foundation of me.
well, let's get into it. Let's get
Yeah.
into it then. I
So,
have some questions myself, so I'm excited to learn more.
okay.
Um, so let's just get into it. We're gonna
Okay.
start with
Go.
softball, and then we'll get into like all the other
All
things.
right.
So let's just start with when did your softball journey begin? How old were you? Where did it start?
I mean, we all play T-ball, right? We all play T-ball. Um, Not much of a spark there for me though in the T-ball days. But it started when I was 8.
Dandelion picker.
Yeah, absolutely. It started when I was 8, and then, my dad, Dano, coached Little League, did the Little League thing. But, it same as you, it wasn't that travel ball wasn't a thing until you were
Hmm.
12. Wasn't, we won our local tournaments and
Yeah.
It was you're going to be a pitcher because you're tall and lanky.
I
There's
was gonna
no,
ask that. What started that? Oh, you're tall,
oh,
lanky pitcher,
it
automatic.
was me and my sister were both pitchers at the time. So
Okay.
Melissa, so,
How many years between you guys?
18 months. So, right, me and you are both old, we're the oldest of three sisters, all girl
Yeah.
family. Our dads didn't get their boys. This is what they got.
Yeah.
This
This is
is
what
it.
they got.
This is what they
Yeah.
get. So, yeah, so tall and lanky kid. I was actually kind of like average height until like eighth grade. And then I grew like super tall, very
Okay.
awkward.
Actually, I love that. I love that you grew late. Like,
Oh
because
yeah,
I
it was
feel like people all the time are like, well, my kid's like, she's not growing. She's kind of small. Probably
mhm,
doesn't have a future in this. I'm like, oh, just wait.
yeah.
Just wait.
So yeah, my
Let
dad,
puberty hit.
oh man, we need to do a whole episode on that situation.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
no, my mom's like 5'5", 5'6" on a good day, and my dad's 6 foot, and I'm
Yeah.
5'11". So I
Yes.
was a 10-pound baby though. So I'm proud.
Same. Same.
My mom will always tell the story of like because she had C-section. She's like, I remember your dad in the glass going 10 pounds, 10. I was a biggin. So yeah,
Yeah.
I grew late though. I wouldn't say I grew. I grew in eighth grade, eighth and ninth grade. Uh, didn't really get into pitch. I was a pitcher. I remember in
Yeah.
the backyard, when they had like not the little pocket radars, they had like the whole guns and they were like this. My
Oh
dad's
yeah, it
like,
was the whole thing.
yeah, my dad's like radaring us and it was a big deal. It still is a huge deal to hit 50 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
me and my sister were just slinging, right? And my sister hit 50 miles an hour first. And my dad will still tell you that story. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and my sister is 5'5". So, size doesn't matter. Size doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't
Yep.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yep. So,
Um,
yeah.
so
So play
did you play travel ball? What age did you start travel ball?
12U. Went and played for
Okay.
like the local in the town. Uh It wasn't honestly a great experience though. I the coach I mean shoot they have like tournament names after this guy. I'm not gonna name drop
Okay.
him. I know a lot of people had a really great experience with him. He didn't know my name, but I
Okay.
also had like zero confidence in myself, zero.
Yeah.
I was a pitcher, played right field, played first base. Just timid, wasn't it's so funny. Like this is my career that I do, very online influencer, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't outgoing, very shy,
That's
tend to
interesting.
to myself, lack of confidence, nervous to be around new people, didn't want to be there because of it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but my dad always saw more in me. I mean, I think as parents, right, we always see more in our kids than what just like a stranger does. But he did.
Yeah.
He always pushed me. And then after that year, I knew my mom and dad wanted us. And again, it wasn't like back then it was, well, 10U didn't even exist. So it was like 12U,
Yeah.
14U, 16U.
Always by the twos. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they wanted me and my sister to play together and make it easier, right? So me and
Hmm.
my sister play together. We moved over into a different organization. And that was a crapshoot too, because the coach that was a coach, we went and played the first, I don't even know, my dad could tell the story better, but basically the coach didn't show up because she was hungover for the first game. And my dad's like, so, we come from this organization where like I was
Yeah.
timid, shy, coach didn't even know my name. And then we go over here. And then I think in between there, or maybe it was before this, we went out and tried out for Grand Rapids Blaze, didn't make it. So it's not like I had this like magical start to travel ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
What kept, was it you that kept you going? Like, did you want to keep going or your dad was
Oh,
just
it's
like, oh no,
totally my
we're
dad.
gonna
My
keep
dad,
doing
I bet
this?
you my like there was times where he's like, "Get in the truck. You're going to the game. I don't care. No, you're not staying home." La di da di.
So I feel like that is so good to hear because
Mhm.
as a pitching coach myself, and maybe you hear it from parents as well, like, how do I, she doesn't want to practice. She doesn't want
Yeah.
to, she's
Yeah.
not really super pumped about pitching lessons. She's not pumped about hitting. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Do I let her be or do I force it? And I'm like, force it.
You force it.
Force it
I
because they don't know at
They
that
don't
age. They
know.
don't know.
No, One
They don't know
minute
what's
they
best.
like
Do they want to
Taylor
do their
Swift.
homework?
Right. No, they
No,
don't
they
want to do
don't want to
homework,
do their
but
homework. They don't want to
like,
brush their teeth. They don't
no.
want to,
But they're changing
so
day by day. One minute they love Taylor Swift. Like a year and a half ago, Evelyn loved Taylor Swift, and I was like, God, we have to have a come to Jesus talk about that because that ain't it.
we're a Taylor Swift household.
I know it, right? And
I
we're
know
still
you're not
friends.
a Taylor Swift
We're
household.
we are not a Swiftie household, but like but kids change, right? Kids, they don't know what
Yeah.
they want. They don't know what they like. They're learning themselves. Um, all that. So yeah, my dad definitely had to like, and I'm thankful. So for
Yeah.
anybody being like, I cannot believe, her dad forced her and I will refuse to force my kids, la 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 la. I'm thankful. I'm so
But
thankful that
here's
my dad
my
forced
thing with that is well, I'll use my daughter as an example. If like she hated softball when she was 7,
me. Yeah.
did not want to play. And if I let that 7-year-old tell me,
Layla, right?
yeah, Layla,
Yeah.
if I let that dictate her future, like she wouldn't be playing right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we're gonna play, we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep practicing.
Hmm.
And now she lives and
Well,
breathes the game and loves it. And I just don't want like kids to be like, oh no, I'm not gonna play when they're like 9 or 10 years old. And then by the time they're 14 and they're like, oh, I want to play, but now you're 6 years behind. You know what I mean?
well,
So
I feel like that's why I relate to Lay. Like when you're like she's shy, and I'm like, dude, I was the same human,
yeah,
like same shy, reserved, not outspoken, you know. Unless I knew you and I was comfortable around you, I was very more
hmm,
like set back. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was in between there of Grand Rapids Place, if we went to this organization and tried out and didn't make it, but that is when. But in the meantime, like we definitely connected. You make friends in this travel
yeah,
ball world. You connect with families. You connect with people and we definitely connected with people. So between like the first organization and the second organization, it evolved into what my dad then created, what was called Diamond Heat, which is the organization that like I rebirthed this year.
yes,
So
this year,
yeah,
Diamond
this year.
Heat.
Yeah, it had its first debut. Not really. It's the same, core. We have three new girls on the team, but like
Okay,
it's the same group of girls for that I've been coaching for basically 3 years. But
yeah,
so yeah, it from there we had a little bit of mixture of girls from different towns. A lot of it actually ended up being from when we played in high school when I got and I'll get to my high school journey.
yep,
All the same like played each other in conference. And
yeah.
like they traveled together. So it's pretty cool.
That is
Um,
fun. That is fun to
it
see,
is, it
see
is. And
friends in high school.
I feel bad for anybody that sits there and is like, I hated my travel ball experience or I hated my high school experience.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have both really great experience. I mean, yeah, travel started off rocky, but it ended
Yeah.
up being really good. And we had so much core memories playing travel. But I actually wasn't, right? I'm coach's kid. I wasn't the number one pitcher at all starting off. Like,
Okay, but why? What
I
was
didn't
the
want it.
reasoning?
I did
You didn't
not
want
want
it?
it. Like I will say, like I did not have that come to Jesus that I need to get my butt to work with pitching until like I was a freshman in high school. Very similar to you.
Very similar, yeah.
But I remember like the first year playing travel, like I sat the bench because I wasn't the number one pitcher. I wasn't as good as the other. There's five pitchers on the team, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as good as the other four.
Yeah.
And you know, I just I don't. It was like my high school freshman year. We only won 3 games. I'm telling you, Netflix. You want to talk about a documentary? Not as probably as good as the Unknown Catfish right now. Okay, because that.
Holy moly.
Have I told you that that is very close to home? I knew all
No.
about that when that went down in real time. Okay, so Lauren Squirrel, you guys gotta tune into this. I have debated like coming online about this, but I don't really want to get involved. Lauren used to catch for one of my pitchers at the field. And so that mom would come, bring her, yeah. And then Courtney briefly coached Lauren, but it was after the fact of it all went down. But that story was very much a local story. Like I knew everything that happened in real time. I don't think
That is wild. My
wild.
jaw was literally
Oh yeah,
the whole time I watched it.
I've met Kendra. No red flags though, ironically. No red flags. But it was like a hi bye, take the girls to the field, right? Like
Yeah.
she sat over there and I was working with the girls. So, just it is a wild story. But
Anyways, squirrel. We could talk about that for
wait, that's a
hours.
whole nother pod, right? We could talk
Yeah.
about that. Um, where was I
So
going?
get into your high school
Okay,
experience.
high school
I
experience.
want to
We
hear
won
about
three
that.
games,
Yeah.
but it could be a total Netflix story because we won three games my freshman year, 12 my sophomore year. My sophomore year is when my dad became the head varsity coach.
Okay.
So he was coaching us in travel and then became the head varsity coach.
Okay.
Totally just kicked it up a notch. My freshman year, I got a pitching coach. Shout out to Coach K, Kelly Collins. I'm so thankful for her. Like, and she was that consistent pitching coach for me out of Doug Gillis.
How far did you drive for pitching lessons?
2.5 hours. 2.5
Once a
hours,
week.
Wednesday night and Sunday. But we had to do what it takes. And again, though,
We
it
will,
was like,
and we're gonna do a podcast about what it does take to get to the next level.
yeah, and
But
not
that is
every,
just like a little piece of it. Like you drove 2.5 hours
well,
there
and
and
where,
back
right. And
twice a
where
week.
well, on Wednesday nights, we get back at like 12:30 at night. So, but where I was at in pitching too, as well, I was behind. I was
Yeah.
very, very, very much behind. Grew my eighth and ninth grade year. I didn't have my foundation down. I didn't have my mechanics down. So like I had to like kick it up a notch. And
Yeah.
so that's what we did.
Is that
My
coach still coaching?
No, she's not coaching. She teaches in I have a tag on my shirt and it has to go. I'm like getting that, you know. Anyways, so no, she's a teacher down in Texas. Yep,
Oh.
her kids, I think she has one because it's funny too because like her kids are all grown now. And like
Hmm.
I remember when she was still having babies. So I'm like, oh, that makes me feel a little bit old, but
A little bit
a
old.
little
Yeah.
bit old. So yeah,
Okay. So she
so
whipped
sophomore
you
year,
into shape
with
twice a
me
week.
twice
Yeah.
a week. Um, like literally, I know some parents are gonna be like, well, I don't want to do this to my kid, or some kids are like gonna make their kid listen to this. I
Yeah.
couldn't hang out with my friends until I got my pitching done. That was it. You're going to go hit a bucket of
Yes.
balls and you're going to go pitch for 30 minutes and you're going to go hit your corners and you're going to do your spins. And then you can go hang out with your boyfriend or XYZ or whatever. So,
Yes. Yes. I
yes.
lived that same exact life.
Yeah.
In if you put it like if you look at it like weekly, like if you sit down on a Sunday night and you're like, okay, this is what my week looks like.
Hmm.
These are the time pockets that I have. If you plan it ahead of time, it makes it a little bit easier instead of like running out the door and your dad is like, hold up,
Yep.
did you go pitch? And you're like, oh
Go pitch.
shoot. So
Well,
just plan it out ahead of time.
it's last night. Tony Paisley posted something on her Instagram about how you should be doing spins daily. And I like showed Evelyn. I'm like, see that? Get it?
Yeah,
Because I did. I did
daily.
spins. I had a spinner, and then like we had a sliding door in our living room, and like at nighttime you could see a reflection because it's dark
Yeah.
out, and so I would pitch into the window with a ball of socks. Like my dad made me like a ball of socks, like pitch
Yeah.
it up,
Yeah.
and just to watch my form and learn my body and my mechanics, and I did that all the time. And like my idols growing up was Jenny Finch. I had a dog named Jenny Finch, like
Yeah.
his little white little
Yeah.
Maltese. So, it definitely it became it I lived
But
it.
you don't need fancy stuff.
No, you don't need
You
fancy
had a
stuff.
ball of
Yeah,
socks and we're throwing into the
yeah,
window.
yeah. Like, do I have a full-on hitting bar in my backyard? Yeah, but that's like a whole another story. But like, no, like I really did have like I just was spinning constantly. I remember my dad sitting in his chair, right? Every dad sits in his chair,
Yeah.
and I would spin the spinner to him and work on my spins. Like,
Yes.
so definitely, my sophomore year we won 12 games, and
Hmm.
then my and we actually like again we played against girls that played with us in travel, and then my junior year we won I think 30 and we split the conference. And back in my day, it's not like this now, but back in my day, this conference was loaded,
Yeah.
loaded with
Yeah.
talent. And we split conference. No one dominated the conference. Like we would go beat them and they would go beat this team, but we would lose this team. And it was just like, and that's when
Yeah.
we played four doubleheaders. We would play each other four times in season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's well, that's not how our conference is now. It's changed.
No.
So, but that's how
Correct.
we played it back then. And we'd split the conference and we would battle and like shout out to my mom, but she was a state runner up back in the 1980, I think. And exact years.
Softball.
Yeah, she was second base.
Oh,
Hmm.
second
Yeah,
baseman.
yeah.
Okay. Shout
Shout
out
out.
Heather.
All the girls would say shout out to Mimi right now, but
Yeah.
shout out to my mom. But there wasn't much softball action in between there into our year. So this would be my dad's second year truly coaching at that level, going from, we won 12 games, then to
Yeah.
30, and then
That's wild.
wild, wild. And the conference didn't get weaker. It just got strong. It was a strong conference. And then my senior year is when we dominated and definitely made some headlines and some momentum,
So did you kind
recruiting.
of like you specifically kind of fly under the radar? Like
Yes.
because if you didn't like really start taking it seriously until your freshman year, people probably were like, "Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
play this school. It's not that big of a deal." And then out comes 5'11" you, and they're
Yep.
like, "Oh, shoot."
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it was. And it's like we were the underdogs. We still didn't, and we're, I wouldn't say respected until we won. And then it was like, okay, yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And we were just like my sister, nickname was Scrappy. She was just like, she actually became my catcher because we needed that position
Oh,
filled. And
that's cool dynamic.
she was just that type of player though. She just did her junior year. She was fast, scrappy,
Yeah. Yeah.
switched to the left side, and my dad taught her, she learned how to slap her junior
Yeah.
year in high school. And and it was a force, like just a nuisance at the plate, to be honest with you. She
Yeah.
was just a
Yeah.
pitcher's worst nightmare. And but she filled the catching position because we needed her to be a catcher. We didn't have that
Right.
position, and she did it, and she did it great. And yes, so it was very much pitcher catcher dynamic between me and my sister. Again, it just would be a good Netflix series of like, or documentary maybe in my head. But it was just like
Yeah.
that hometown story of a no
The
nothing
comeback.
like, bad news bears. Mine is, my dad was an alcoholic, right? And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wasn't a drinker, but like that kind of story where like, my dad always said too, like that team, that first team that he ever coached was just filled with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. And
Yeah.
so my senior year, I think we still split the conference, but that's when recruiting, like
I
that's
was gonna
when
say, are you recruited at this point? Because I feel like nowadays, holy
I should
moly,
have,
recruiting is
I
starting
know,
so early. But
so
when did
early.
you start getting recruited?
Senior year was definitely, again, I was just a late bloomer. And I know you were a late
Yes.
bloomer too. I was just a
Yes.
late bloomer kid. And, um, and I wanted to, D1's the goal.
Always.
D1's the
I mean,
goal.
honestly, the more pitchers I coach, not everybody has that dream. I do have quite a few pitchers that are like, I just want to stay close to home, want to pitch small, and that's totally fine. But yeah, my goal was D1 as well, so that was your goal. So walk us through that. What did that look like for you?
Um,
Where did you get recruited? High school, travel, camps,
camps, camp. Doug Gillis
camps.
had a pitcher
Okay.
camp, and that's how I got picked up. So rewind into my senior year, CMU was the goal, right? I wanted to play at
Yeah.
CMU. That's where I
Yeah,
wanted to
because
play.
that's where you're from. Yeah.
That's my hometown. Like that's the big
You want to
university.
go play for Margot?
I wanted to go play for Margot. I did.
Absolutely.
Margot, so you know how you told that story about the coach walking away?
Uh-huh.
Felt that to my core.
Oh no.
Sleeting and rain. And every pitcher knows it's hard to pitch in those elements, right?
Your fingers are frozen.
You're
They don't
frozen.
they
It's
don't
wet.
bend.
The ball's wet. I think we were up 4-0 playing Coleman, and she's watching me. I don't know if it was that game or a different game. Either way, I just didn't perform well.
Okay.
I didn't. And I was a pretty stoic player on the amount of I had it mentally together by the time I got to my senior year. There wasn't a lot of space.
Yeah.
And I turned to my dad because I couldn't hold on to the ball. And I turned to
Yeah.
my dad and he could see like like I had it together, but the tears are falling,
Yeah.
because I'm losing it. And I didn't lose it. I didn't lose it often.
Yeah.
And I know I blew my chance. I don't know if it was that game, but I remember it was a Coleman game. And I just knew that I lost that opportunity, and it
Yeah.
sucks. It's just like, you know,
It stings. So how do
but
you bounce back from that?
yeah,
Like
well, and
knowing that she was like, meh.
I think I had a JUCO or like a community college. Like my goal was I had an offer, it was in Grand Rapids, and I was gonna go play there, and then I wanted to transfer into a D1. Like that was
Hmm.
like, okay. Didn't get like I did get offers. Like I got some
Yeah.
D3s, I got some community offers. Um,
Yeah.
so I did get offers, but not that D1 offer. And
Right.
I
Right.
was late to the game. I was a late bloomer. All the money's taken up. Like I think people got to understand like recruiting, like there's only so much money to give. And then it's,
Right.
you know,
It's not how it is nowadays.
no,
Like
like that
especially with softball. I mean,
no, it's not like there's not an NIL deal. Like actually back in our day, we had a whole meeting about you don't accept money. You don't do this. You don't
yeah.
post online. You don't do that, blah, blah. And it's a whole different
It's a
scenario
different
back
world
then.
now.
Yeah, way different world. So, anyways, I went to, I think it was in the winter, I went to early winter, I went to that pitching camp, and then the University of Toledo was there, and I got picked up from the university, got a really good offer, money, and that was a goal. Like, I think what people need to understand
Yeah.
is the goal is not D1. The goal to having a skill set that you can play the game of softball
Get your degree paid for.
is to go get your degree paid for, to get your career paid for, and I'll come full circle with that here
Yeah.
in a little bit, but to find what your career is, to find what you want to do in life and get it paid for by using your skill set off. It's a business. That's what it is with the university.
Yeah.
It's a business and you got to perform to keep your money to then like, right, if you go work a 9 to 5, they're paying you to do a job. It's the same concept. And that's why I say a lot of people of like regional, national, I'm like, don't rush this process at a young age because that's what it eventually is. And the
Yeah.
game's got to stay fun until you get to that
It
point.
has to stay fun or they will get burned out.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
um, I obviously it was a good chunk of a scholarship. Not a full
Yeah.
ride, but I think like 75% or 60%. It was good. I barely had
Yeah.
like enough
Any
where my
seasonal.
parents could
Yeah.
help me pay for college. Because now also I went out of state. Out of state is way more expensive.
Yeah.
So, but into my senior year, so recruiting, I got the offer. I remember you know how everybody has like signing day and all these fancy things. None of that
Yeah.
existed back then. Did it exist for you? Did you have a signing day?
Just in the high school like
See, I don't even think
classroom. It was not a big deal.
it wasn't
It
a
was
big
just
deal. My parents took me out to Pizza Sam's. That was like my favorite, pizza joint, and like we went out there and celebrated, and I was like, yeah, yeah, whatever.
yeah.
So went there, but then into my senior year, we won 32 games, won districts, won regionals, weren't picked to win. First of all, Facebook doesn't exist, guys. Okay, so it's just coming into play. This is the year '07. Facebook doesn't exist. The only thing exists is M Live. Do you know about M Live? Do you remember
I'm
M?
live. Now I actually get irked right now because you have to be a subscriber to it now.
And you're
And
like,
all I want to do is vote for my girls. I just want
I
to vote
know,
for
I
them.
know,
And
I
then
know.
I'm like, "Oh, you have to be a subscriber. You have to do all
Yeah.
this." I'm like, "Come on, this isn't how it was."
Yeah. So, M Live, it to me is like a Facebook group where nothing, like everybody's like, oh, social media is so toxic. And, especially and I do agree that social media in a way is like a comparison and a FOMO and a one-upper of parents just like with their kids these days. But M Live was the same exact thing back in the day. So I would get on M Live and parents, right? That just like, oh no, like Vesterberg doesn't have it. That pitcher's not as good as everybody thinks she is, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
but it made me better. It made
Right.
me better. And I'm still like that. Just today, I Definitely have haters online, people that make fake accounts, talk crap about us on softball, and I'm just like,
Yes, I have that. Like, I want to get into that a little bit too,
yeah, we
because you
can.
do have a huge following, and I think people would love to hear about like the behind the scenes of what that's really like for you.
Yeah, totally.
But so maybe you know what? Maybe that gave you thick skin
Oh,
as
100%.
as a teenager. Yeah,
Well, softball in general gives you thick skin, work ethic,
yeah, it
right? It
does.
gives you so much, adversity, discipline, um, work ethic, thick skin, all the things, especially being a pitcher.
Yeah,
Like when we played
you
against
have to have thick
Coleman,
skin.
when we played against Coleman, like the coach would scream out illegal pitch just to get into my head.
Yeah.
Like,
And then, well, I've had that happen too with our travel ball girls, and then they like stutter, and they're
yeah,
like, wait, and I'm like, come on, these
I
girls
know.
are like 10, 11 years
I
old. Can
know.
we not do that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, what's an
So
illegal pitch these days? Because we can get into the replant and the hop and the
that's
whatever
a whole
scoop,
different podcast. That's a whole different podcast
scoot and
because
boogie,
that's
right?
a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
but so once you got to college, tell us a little bit about that
well,
journey for you.
so
I
my
had a
so,
crazy college experience, right? We heard about that last week. But overall, like good college experience. You not so much, so I want to hear about it.
so high school, I rewind. So high school, weren't picked to win regionals, lost in quarters. So disappointing, right? Because we wanted to go all the way. My
Yeah,
sister, youngest sister, your sister won a state title though, right? Youngest,
she did. She got runner up her freshman year, and then her senior year won it all.
those dang younger sisters. Yeah, my sister definitely. So my
I
younger
know.
sister was a pitcher too. So pitcher, catcher, pitcher. Um, okay, so we're going into or going into college, graduated.
Yeah. So you're at University of Toledo.
Yep. Mm,
Okay.
what a culture shock.
Okay.
We have to understand the town that I came from, small. Okay, everybody talks about let's go back to the catfish story only so I can give everybody an idea of the town I came from.
Yeah.
It was like that, but that vibe, right? Small town, farmers, everybody knows everybody, generational
Yeah.
families. Okay.
Yes.
I go to the University of Toledo, huge university. I'm out of state. I'm 3.5 hours away from home. And these coaches, so rewind to, I get my offer. Also, my pitching coach took a job there. So I'm like, sweet. My pitching coach is there. This is great.
Yeah.
Life is
Yeah,
great.
that's huge. I didn't know this.
Probably, if I can give anybody advice going into college softball, is to start your weight training before you go to college. Again,
Yeah.
things are just different. I mean, I'm 36 years old. So 17, 18 years ago. Gosh, that makes me
Yeah.
feel so incredibly old. You have no idea.
You're not old. You're not old.
So I wish I would have weight trained because that definitely rocked my world. I was 5'11", weight 140 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Could
A
sling the ball.
string bean.
Yeah. I mean, I still threw 63, 64 miles an hour, but it's like, dang, you know? So going to
What could
college.
you have been? What could you have been with a step bag? What could you have been had you
Oh,
weight?
yeah, because
We
we
can
didn't
get
get to
into that.
step back on the mound, which blows our girls' mind. We've showed
You
them,
had
and
to
then with
have both feet on the mound.
yeah, and so we both went over. We had the kind of same startup, but we both were Doug Gill's kids, so we're here, slid over, sling
Yeah.
back, go.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dominant, right? We could if we had a step
Dominant.
back.
Could have been. Shoulda,
You know,
coulda,
it's
woulda.
so funny too because it's so hard to use your legs with 2 feet on the mound,
Oh yeah.
and legs
Oh
are
yeah.
everything in pitching.
Yes.
So my freshman year, I actually joke. So the first thing that I don't know what the heck I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
Hindsight 2020, a little bit about me as a person is I've always been into fashion. I mean,
Hmm.
I would write down in my agenda, like you wore your buckle jeans and your pink sparkly shirt on Friday. So we can't wear that until like 3 weeks later. Everybody can make fun of me. I don't care. I've always been into fashion.
What
When
was your nickname in
Hollywood,
travel ball?
Hollywood. It
Hollywood.
was T or Hollywood. And my dad still calls me T. Like there are people that still call me T. Um,
Yeah. Because you had bleach blonde hair, right? You
Oh
had
yeah.
bleach blonde hair when I first met you, actually.
Yeah, I'm
So
platinum. Now we're down to
yeah,
the look at the grays.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've always been into fashion. I've always been into pop culture. I was like a huge Jessica Simpson fan. Watched all real TV, like the reality TV spoke to my soul. Okay. I just loved it. And it's funny, hindsight 2020 of like kind of makes sense what I do now.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, social media is just starting to come about. I didn't get a Facebook until I went to college. So
Okay.
it was around, but I was like, "Ugh, I don't know how to
Yeah.
work this.
Facebook. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. So, and I think it's important to like where we take this into the story. Then
Mm-hmm.
when I went, so freshman year was rocky. I had a pretty good freshman. Like you don't get to play a lot as a freshman, right?
Right.
But the outings that I
Right.
did get, I did okay. Like I did do well in some
Yeah.
aspects. Um, Definitely adjustment of weightlifting, conditioning. I will say though, when people talk about the horror of D1 stories, I have that, unfortunately. I don't think every
Yes.
college is like that. I don't think all college coaches are like that. I don't think every D1 college coach is bad. Like, I just
Right.
had some situations in college, not necessarily with me, but like we had girls drinking, breaking the 24-hour rule. So as a team, we had to run every little football stadium step.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, traumatizing. Like if
Yeah.
anybody, I want everybody to go look up a college football stadium. It's crazy. Okay, so then
Yeah.
we had that. Um, Sleeting, snow, rain, 40 degrees. Toledo just built this beautiful athletic complex, steep hill, athletic train or like our workout coach had a truck, three girls behind it had to push that truck up in 40 degrees, sleet and snow rain, pushing it up, roll it down in neutral to work on mental toughness. Like stuff that you probably should not experience
You
as
had
a
to push a truck up a hill.
yeah. And then the same girls
I mean,
got caught
we
drink.
ran hills all the time, but I never had to push a truck up a hill.
We had to do pool workouts for
Well,
conditioning.
we had to do pool workouts, but then like we would do pool workouts and then run outside afterwards. And when it would be like snowing, our hair would freeze. We'd go straight from the pool to the outside, and then I had icicles in my hair.
I'm just not a good swimmer. So pool workouts were not my favorite thing. Like I was at one point, I'm like, this is a safety hazard for me. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, you know, what else did we did have to do the minute mile, 8 minute mile. So you'd have to run a mile in 8 minutes. The first
yeah.
time I got 8:03, so I had to do it all over again the next week. I've never been a runner. It's fine. Um,
She's a runner. She's a track star.
yeah, yeah. So I think though I actually gained a really unhealthy relationship with the gym because of all of that.
Yeah.
And then so my freshman year, like I'm trying to find myself. Um,
Hmm.
I didn't I for another thing, I know we've never really I didn't drink in high school. I
Yeah.
I very much was like scholarship, 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 focus, focus, focus on softball. I agree with my parents' stance on that. I'm glad I didn't. When I
Yeah.
went to college, it was like, oh, look,
Culture shock.
yes, culture shock. And I think I didn't party that much my freshman year, though, still. I
Yeah.
was still pretty focused. But again, I was trying to, so I went into college with pre-med. So dumb. I am not my brain doesn't even work that way. And it's like laughable, but I think I was into Grey's Anatomy. I don't even know. Okay. Dumb. Dumb.
Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be so
Yeah.
successful, make all the money.
Yeah.
And then you're
And
like, oh wait.
ironically, I wanted to be a pediatric doctor. I remember that. Kids, like I get it.
Yeah.
My brain, figuring out myself, figuring out what I want to do. And then I barely passed biology where I was going to be eligible to play in the spring. So I got that figured out.
Same.
Got that figured out.
Actually, mine was anatomy,
Ugh,
but anyways, we'll
Why
get into that later.
why do you
But
even well, I mean,
so
it's a
hard.
complete mess. So hard. So incredibly hard. But you know what? I remember my coaches pulling me in and they're like, you are not doing well in biology. And if you don't, and I might add in high school, I did well in school. School
Yeah.
came easy to me. Wasn't hard. Math
But
was
it's
always,
so different. It's
yeah, so
college is
different.
so different.
Math was always tricky for me, but I did well. It was high
Yeah.
school was easy for me. Um, when I went to college in biology, I barely passed. But you want to know what? When they have office hours, I went and sat in
Oh
those
yeah.
office hours and I did my very best to figure out what the heck I got to learn to pass because I wanted to play softball in the spring. Like,
Right.
I'm going to play.
That was 100% me too. I was always
Yes.
in office hours. Like, please pass me. Please.
Yeah.
I think it was anatomy and then I forget what the other one was, but the guy he literally was like, I know you're trying. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. I'll pass you. But
I
like
passed biology with a C minus, but I was like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I passed.
these
I'm
get
fine.
degrees.
I'm fine. And then, so after that semester, I switched to education because I was
Okay.
like, I want to be a teacher. I want to work with kids, whatever. And I definitely was 110% the right move. Way easier going into semester. We're in softball season. I play a little bit. Um, Again, had some good outings, had some bad outings. Um, I really liked my head coach.
Yeah.
Really loved my pitching coach. I didn't care for the assistant coach. I had three female coaches. I probably will get canceled for this, but I still, to this day, one thing, this is why I did not want to go into coaching, Evelyn. One, it was hard for me to adjust not being coached by my dad.
Yeah.
Two, I think three female coaches, and I would say the same for three male coaches, is a recipe for disaster. And
Yes.
that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it for any
We kind of
listeners out
touched
there.
on it a little bit last week, but I feel like you said this actually in your podcast with Ashley, that like girls need to feel good
Mm-hmm.
to play good,
Yep.
and boys need to what
Win.
play good to feel good, or
They
they
need
need to
to
win
win to feel
to
good.
feel good.
Yeah.
But I feel like that dynamic is shows up in coaches a little bit too.
Hmm.
I'm now helping assist my daughter's 12U team and my other daughter's 9U team, but I feel like having that female presence in
Yes,
the
it
dugout is
matters.
so crucial because the girls will come to me like tears in their eyes, and I'm like, "Girl, you're good. You're
Yeah.
good." Whereas
Yeah.
like I feel like men don't always pick up on
Yeah.
those little things. Like they can't I feel like and again, we might get canceled for this, but I feel like men, for the most part, can't look at a 12-year-old girl and know there's something off. She's
No.
upset. I can see it in her eyes, and I can look at each and every one of those
Yes.
girls and be like, "You're not yourself. What's going on? I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
Lay it on me, girl. Did you have a
Yeah.
bad day at school?
It,
Is your shoes
it,
not
it
fitting
it's
right?
it's
What's
actually
going on?"
sometimes it's not even about what actually is going on. Sometimes it's just like they need to blurt it out and they just need to be
Yeah.
heard. It's not actually
Yes.
about the actual thing that's going on. It's about they just want to like and they want to word vomit
Tell
to you
someone.
and
They
they
want
want
to
to
tell
be like,
someone.
oh, you're okay. Like you're gonna be. I
Yeah.
had it this weekend. I had it this weekend with
Yeah.
one of my players. I've coached her for 3 years, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "My thumb hurts right here." And I'm like, "Okay, here we go." And I'm like, "You're good."
Yeah.
So whatever. And she was fine. Like after she got it out, she kind of like, okay, got it together, and whatever. So,
Yeah.
anyways, freshman year, um, and there's drama and it was just a lot. It was a lot, but whatever. So going into my
So did you
sophomore year,
stick? You stayed at Toledo
I
the
cried every other day
whole.
and begged my dad to transfer out every day. And I really wanted to transfer out my freshman year. I also felt like I
Okay.
didn't really find my friends until my sophomore year, which I'll get into. But I just struggled. Again, I was a small fish in a big pond, and I used to be a big
Yeah.
fish in a small pond, right? And I
Yep, that
just,
that is always a hard adjustment going into college because if you're recruited to play a college sport, you were most likely the star, the
mhm,
it athlete in your
mhm.
high school, in your hometown, and then you go to college and it's like, oh, we were all it athletes. We were all the stars, and you
Yeah.
have to find and navigate that
And like,
new
gosh, I
role.
was talking to Emily about this at the gym today. I was like, you also are, I was raised a certain way. You were, I think our similarities of being raised was similar. Um,
Hmm.
Very small, conservative, orderly.
Yeah.
And not saying that's like the right way and only right way, but there's other kids, like other players being raised differently, and you're just all thrown into one, and you all got to learn dynamics. I definitely have grown as a person. I feel like I was really, really self-centered back then and very much here. But like again, I was a star. I came from
Yeah.
a really good senior season, a really good travel ball season. Like back to travel ball, like we had a riot together. Like one of my really good friends, Jen, her daughter it catches, she's my catcher on the team now. Like
Yeah.
me and her had so much fun together and we were all really, really close. So like just really good travel ball experience, high school experience, and now we're at college. And I got to make new friends and different cultures and all the things, right?
Hmm.
And it was just a lot. And I cried I mean, I called my dad crying all the time. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to come home. I don't like this. I want to transfer out. But the transfer portal did not exist back then. It didn't exist for you either, right? Transfer
No,
portal.
there's no transfer portal. We had to get released
And did you
by
feel
like the
like,
university.
right, and did you feel like back then it was like shameful to say no to your coach? Be like, I don't want to be here when your coach picked you, because that's what it was like in my head. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
and maybe it's still
Yeah.
like that, but it was definitely different back then than it is now. But
Yeah.
hindsight 2020, especially after my sophomore year, I wish the transfer portal existed. So going to my
Okay.
sophomore year, new mindset. I worked out over summer, played a little ball, like definitely what felt had a better mindset going in my sophomore year. Know what to expect.
Hmm.
Um, was going into fall ball, was looking pretty good for fall ball. Like
Yeah.
I want to say I was even like I was being, you know how there's like game one and game two starter.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
was leaning towards like they were gonna go with me for game two starter, which is great. I'm only
Okay.
a sophomore, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, so great. We're in the weight room working out with my catcher, Whitney. I love her to death. We called each other Biff, like BFF, like Biff. Love
Yeah.
her. Working out with her, and so that was like a whole nother dynamic. Is we were doing workouts that the football players were doing, and slowly and
Hmm.
surely everybody started getting injured, one by one. Everybody was getting injured, and I was bench pressing, and I when I went up and I came down, I heard a pop. Like something was off. And I was like, oh, that kind of little
On your pitching arm.
on my pitching arm. And I was like, and my dad was always really good about not over pitching. Not just
Yeah.
me, anybody. But I was
Yes.
like, man, that kind of felt weird, you know? Finished up my workout, whatever. Went through, because, we did conditioning weights and then you would throw later.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I told my pitching coach, I was like, something's off. Like my arm kind of hurts, feels weird. Whatever. Ice. You need ice. Go see the athletic trainer. You need ice. Okay. And it just fell off. For 2 weeks, I lost spin on the ball. For
Hold on one second. You
Yep.
kind of broke up. So you said whatever ice and then what?
Yeah, like she's like, whatever, you guys get again, D1's no is a business. Go ice.
Yeah.
Are you icing? Are you taking care of your arm? Are you eating right? Are you sleeping? Da da da. Whatever. You don't sleep in college, just FYI. You go
Yeah.
don't sleep. We learned that even when you don't have a baby, guys, you don't sleep in
Yeah.
college. Um,
Yeah. I
and
remember setting alarms like in between classes for like
yes,
7 to 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, I can sleep. All right,
Mhm.
we just went to class. I've been up since 4 a.m. This was without a baby. Been
Yep.
up since 4 a.m., conditioning, lifting, first practice of the day, go to
Yep.
class, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I gotta leave in 15 minutes. I'm gonna set my alarm for 10 minutes from
Yep.
now.
And you
I'd
you
knock
would fall
out and
asleep.
then I would fall asleep and then I'd
Yep.
be up and I'm like, okay, we're going. We're going to
We're
the next class. We're going to practice. We're good.
we are good.
I was not good, but
No, I did that though. I think I slept through my whole art history class too. We'll get into that major. Um, so for 2 weeks I didn't feel right. And I told my dad and he's like, whatever, whatever, you know. And slowly but surely I just wasn't right. Like
yeah.
my pinky started to go numb. Brushing my hair was a problem. I was losing feelings in my finger. My elbow started to hurt. Like I just had all sorts. I'm like, something's not right. And I kept saying it, something's not right, something's not right. And then they did like an x-ray and they're like, it's fine, your x-ray's fine. And I'm like, no, something is not right. And I went home on Christmas. Did I make it through fall ball? Yeah, I made it through fall ball. I pitched all. I'm trying to think of how this. I think I didn't. My dad would know. His memory's a lot better than mine. This is also a blur. I feel like too I have PTSD. Do you feel like it's a blur and you just can't remember a lot?
Sorry, you broke up. What'd you
Oh,
say?
I can't remember if I like played a good chunk of that fall ball sophomore year. But do you feel like college is a blur because you have so much PTSD? Obviously, you have a whole different situation.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
during that, I don't know. I went home at Christmas my sophomore year. And my dad's like, come on, let's go throw in the barn because we also had a hitting barn in the backyard and went
Yeah.
out there and I was throwing 55 miles an hour. As a D1 athlete, you should not be throwing 55 miles an hour. And my dad's like,
Mm.
something's wrong. And he had a conversation with the pitching coach. I went back, got an MRI. It showed there was a situation. Basically, like my shoulder was in, like it was in its socket, but it was like this and it was just like it was hitting nerves and stuff. So I was
Oh,
having a lot of nerve issue and there's all sorts. So went in, had
yeah.
surgery, tightened it all down. I'm redshirting the rest of my
Oh,
sophomore year.
okay, so you had surgery like that winter.
I had surgery not that winter, going it was at the end of season. Because
So
they
did you
wanted
play that season?
mm-mm, I redshirted. Or
Oh,
did I
you read.
redshirt? No, I redshirted my no, I redshirted my sophomore year. Yeah.
Okay. So medical red shirt,
Medical
had
redshirt.
surgery after that.
Yep, had surgery. We waited till summer so I could rehab and everything, do all that stuff. And
Yeah.
then all my coaches got fired. Um, it was sad because I really did like my head coach.
Was there
Obviously,
a big reason or are you
we
just
weren't
not
winning.
winning?
Winning, the
Okay.
assistant coach was a problem. I
Hmm.
still have her blocked on Facebook. I don't really care. She's so toxic. I still remember. Love my pitching coach. Love her. It was hard though because she's part of the coaching staff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Not that I was a saint. I wasn't. When I got injured, and I just saw another TikTok about this. When you're in class and you say, hi, my name is Trisha and I play softball. Hi, my name is Alexa, I play softball.
Yeah.
It's your whole identity.
That's your whole identity. Yeah.
And your arm don't feel right. You know your body, something's not right. No one's listening to you. I turned to partying my sophomore year. I did.
Okay.
I understand why I did it because I never did it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't do something that I absolutely loved doing. No
Yeah.
one was listening to me. It was like an outlet. It was like I
Yeah.
was chasing the dopamine of it, of like that high of the party,
Right.
right? Wasn't
Yeah.
myself. Also trying to find myself. Also just like different new people and whatever, chasing
Yeah.
the high of it. And I wasn't the only one. Like we definitely there was girls at partying and softball was so bad because the toxicity level on our team was so bad, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It was bad.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's not.
That no.
And we get new coaches.
Okay.
One big part of this equation, my sophomore year, my sister also committed to the University of Toledo.
Oh.
So my middle sister, the one that's 18 months apart, is
Yeah.
coming on to play. So I have my sister there. My sophomore year too, I was in an apartment. My sister was in the dorms. I was in an apartment with my friend Kate. She was in my wedding. Still good friends with her. Like,
Mhm.
so we don't stay in touch now, but like, definitely thankful for her, right? You got your roommates that like,
Right.
but like, she's from Wisconsin. She's a dang cheesehead. Love the Green Bay Packers. We are both small town girls.
Yeah.
Definitely connected. So I will say, like, I had her, but she had an injury as well, and I'll get into that. And I'm not going to go into details, but it will come full circle of like something was off because at one
Yeah.
point in time, so we go into my junior year, I have surgery. They want me back. We have new coaches. So I'm like, all right, let's say the head coach was a pitcher as well. So I'm like, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Moving forward. I'm still on the injured list though, going into fall ball. I gotta be ready by spring. Trying to
Yeah.
rehab, trying to get my life together there. And I re it again, playing D1, they want you back healthy, better ASAP.
You gotta be, yeah, on top of your game.
Um, Tore my labrum and rehab, like trying to rehab, get better. So my junior year, I had to have another surgery. I don't even know when I got that surgery, I'll be honest. I don't know if it was at the end of my junior year. Again, it's such a blur.
Yeah.
Made
So
a
are
lot
you
of,
just like sidelined during all of this? Are you having to attend practices?
yeah, I still did conditioning stuff. Some stuff I sat out on. Weights I could still do legs.
Yeah.
We do get a new weightlifting coach because after my sophomore year moving in, so we moved into the softball house. There's five of us in my junior year, and when we all got back, four out of the five of us were all injured. And then at
Yep.
one point in time, there was more injuries on the team than that there was healthy girls. Like it was crazy, and not like severe injuries, but like injuries.
Yeah.
Like my friend Kate, her whole hamstring, she had like hamstring was basically off the muscle, like from her bone in the back. Like we had some groin issues. We had my sister Melissa also tore her labrum.
What?
Had to have surgery. We had surgeries, I think like a couple weeks apart. It was nuts. It was my second surgery, her first surgery. So like obviously something isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something isn't right. And a lot of bitterness set in because I had this dream to play college softball and it's not coming true. Lost
Yeah.
focus, made poor decisions. And I own that. Like sometimes I'm like, if I would have like stayed focused, could have I came back? Could have I because I half blame
Right.
myself, half blame the fact that like I didn't have the right tools, I didn't have the right people in my corner. Combination,
Hmm.
mixture of everything, right? I hold myself accountable. I could have like if I wasn't partying and just focused on getting
Yeah.
healthy, what would have happened, right? So
Right.
like it's like a combination of everything. Or if someone would just listen to me in the beginning when I felt something
Right.
and I
Right.
rested, I wholeheartedly believe this on my kids' life. If I would have rested, I would have been fine. I just
But it was ice,
something,
ice, go pitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Because hindsight 2020, when I think it was my junior year, going into my senior year, something like that, they said basically, you want to have kids one day, right? And I was like, you know, 21, dude. I just got I'm at the bars, okay? I am living
Yeah.
a good life. And I'm like, sure. Yeah, I want to have kids. And they're like, well,
Yeah.
you really got to start thinking about the future of like the outcome of your injuries of long term.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you mean? And so like, well, we were thinking about we think you should medically disqualify and you'll still get your scholarship paid for. And all you have to do is go work 6 hours in the athletic shop during the basketball games. Okay.
So no longer on the softball team though?
And we got new coaches. I didn't like the vibe of the new coaches. There's many reasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happened.
So
Not,
so you're done now being on the team and now you're working in
well,
the
I should say I started off as a student coach before the
okay.
opportunity gave to me. Did not like that. They wanted me to go do class checks on girls to make sure girls were in classes.
But these are
And
your teammates.
yeah, absolutely not. And
No, that's
yeah,
not a good dynamic. I'm
yeah.
not gonna rat out my teammates. Nope.
Nope, nope. And then one time, this one still ticks me off if I can. We had a softball house. We weren't breaking the 24-hour rule. We were all above age with drinking.
Yeah.
We had a party, not even a big one. I actually was like, gosh, that was such a lame party. Like, I remember thinking that.
Yeah.
And somehow they all pulled us into the office and they basically wanted my sister to pin, they were questioning my sister of who threw the party because one of the softball girls went and told the coaches that she drank. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it was, I'm telling you, when I have the worst stories to tell about playing, I have them.
Yeah.
And somehow they were basically pinning me and my sister against each other in this dynamic. And we didn't even break any
Yeah.
rules, so that's what ticks me off. But they didn't want us drinking at all, which I still think is not that that's a priority in college because it shouldn't be, but it's not realistic.
Right.
And and end up like my sister didn't rat me out, but they thought she did it, and I was the one that threw the party. Like I was the one like, let's go, get everybody together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just a weird situation. Didn't care for those coaches. They cared more about who was dating who on the team and the drama and the dynamics and like it was exhausting. And so I went to the AD and I said, "Is there anything else?" Another former softball player left and she was working in like the athletic office, like filing papers. I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
You want me to do that? And then they're
Yeah.
like, well, you could go work in the athletic shop during the games and like, when they have all the like selling stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, man, cute boys, like
Yeah.
sign me up. And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Okay.
And I, it was weird. I got to be this, what do they call the normie? Is it, do they call them normies or like a normal college student? There's like some abbreviation now.
I have no idea.
Anyways, so I got to go do that and be a college student. Um, at this point in time, too, I've switched to an art major because I wanted to be a teacher, but I wanted to be an art teacher. So I had to go through the art program. And then because I was in Ohio, I was going to have to get my bachelor's in art, new media, where I got into photography, which I was always kind of into it, but got into photography. And then
Yes.
yep. And then, so I really took a ton of photography classes in college. So for everybody that didn't know where it came from, really came from there. I always had a camera in my hand. I was always
Yeah.
the girl at the party that had her digital camera, like,
Oh yeah.
but
Wrapped around your wrist,
mm,
digital camera. That
yeah,
that digital cameras are
I
back.
actually bought one because I think they're so cool. I'm still into it. It's still a thing. It's still my
Yeah.
personality. So, um, where was I going? So yeah, I'm in my
Well,
art
so did you
program.
graduated with an art degree then from
Yeah.
Toledo?
I have a bachelor's in
Okay.
art concentration new media is what my title is.
That is literally your job, which
Literally
is
my
wild.
job. Yeah.
Is wild.
So
So
yeah, I
yeah, go ahead.
graduated, but my senior year, all of my friends, so this is why I'm very much like maybe I wasn't meant to go play Division 1 softball
Hmm.
because my senior year, all my friends are still playing. Kate
Yeah.
also medically disqualified. My sister was there's a lot of girls that walked away from that program, which is sad because
Okay.
it wasn't the lack of talent. We actually had a ton of talent.
Yeah.
Even despite of all the people that say that I should have never went D1 because that was a whole another story. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have went to a JUCO or something like
Yeah.
that. But at the end of the day, the goal is to get your degree and get your career. And
And you did.
and I did. So, and I used to have bitter feelings towards the University of Toledo, but I don't anymore. I'm actually thankful, and I'm thankful for the AD. Is Ann Andrews? I don't know. I'm still thankful for her because she sat there and listened to me in her office, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a student coach. I don't want to rat on my teammates. I don't want to be. They're my
Right.
friends.
Right.
So, my senior year, I'm bored. All my friends are my teammates, and they are on a
At
bus and
practice,
they're
they're
playing, and
traveling, they're in hotels.
I have no friends. I have no friends. I had a
Yeah.
couple friends, but I have my hometown friends.
Yes.
And I like, again, though, I'm trying to find myself. There's like, I dated a guy from 8th grade on to high school, broke up, like we were done with that whole situation. So I'm just trying to find myself. I'm trying to find who I am. I don't know. Come home. My friends, I was like, you know, gotta have a really crappy relationship. And I'm like, I want a mature man. Little do I know, those things don't exist until they're like, I think 50. I don't know if you know that, but whatever. So my senior year, I started coming home and my one friend, Katie, I was like, man, I'm looking for a mature man, has a job, like, because I'm getting to a point where like I'm a senior. What am I gonna do with my life? I knew I was gonna come back home, go to CMU, get my teaching certificate, and she's like, "Oh, I have just a guy. I have just a guy." And that then comes insert my husband. I finished up my senior year. I actually moved in with him 3 months after dating him. It was that or my parents, okay? So I was like, whatever. So I moved in with him and I graduated, looked into getting my teaching certificate from CMU. It was going to cost a lot of money, so like I'll get into that. And I was like, I don't know if I want to take out a loan. I don't know if I really want to spend that money to become a teacher. I just don't know if I want to do that. And
Right, especially when you were just had your education paid for.
yeah, so like I'm fresh out of college, 6 months, 6 months out of college. Um, and living with Justin. Uh, I started getting into photography. My friend Katie was actually getting married, so she's like, "You can take engagement photos," because I did. I knew how to work a camera. I did all that stuff in school.
Yeah.
So I started getting into photography, and then I get tons. I Facebook is, the only social media platform really at this time, and I started
Yeah.
posting people's photos that I take, and then that's when Trisha Hyde Photography blossomed. And then I also got pregnant. Insert Evelyn into this life.
Oh, oh, Ev.
Good old Ev. So,
Yes.
yeah, me and Justin were freshly dating, fresh out of college softball. Definitely did not want Evelyn to play any kind of softball at all. I was like, you'll you'll dance. So I had Ev. It's funny because I definitely did take a
Yeah.
picture with her with a
Yeah.
softball. I will have to find that photo of her, but she's like I posed her on a softball because again, I'm getting into photography.
I know exactly what photo you're talking about.
Yeah. And my sister Janelle was still playing travel high school. I wish I would have been there more for her, but when you have a baby, you're in survival mode. You're just like trying to survive and make it. So, had F and didn't care for her to play the game of softball at all. I'll be honest, I was very bitter. Very, 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 very bitter about softball. Hated it. And because I
Yeah.
hated it so much, my sister Janelle had a phenomenal senior year. My dad had a phenomenal year coaching, and I just wasn't present in a sense. And I feel really bad about it now, but I just was in a different
Yeah.
headspace
You
with
regret
everything.
that?
Yes and no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand why I was the way I
So
was.
obviously, like coaching then was never the goal.
I didn't even want Evelyn to play softball.
When did that shift for you? Because coaching obviously
Mhm.
wasn't the goal. And
No,
that is like your whole, like, that's what you do now.
I
So I have
know.
so many questions on this. So when did that
Uh,
shift for you?
I just had such a bad, bitter taste about softball. I wanted nothing to do it, which my poor husband really thought we were gonna escape this life. Like he's like,
Sure
what do you?
didn't.
No,
Sure didn't.
sure didn't. So Evelyn started playing 8U. So 8U softball. And rewind, my dad had a, successful coaching career. My younger sister had a really successful senior year, wasn't there, wasn't present. Regret it, yes, because I just wish I could remember. I did take Evelyn to a couple games, took her to a couple games, and I think when they won, my sister's senior year was pretty special too. And my mom's like holding Ev and being interviewed because they interviewed my mom because she was that state runner up, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, I just don't remember much, but I Evelyn started playing 8U softball, and I just. You know how it goes, right? You're just,
Well, were you the type of mom that you're like, okay, I'm not coaching. I'm not interested in coaching, but
oh
then
yeah. Yeah,
you
I
see
didn't want
who is
nothing to do with it.
coaching?
Yeah,
Well, you see who is coaching, you're like, oh, I can do this way better.
100%.
Like,
100%.
wait a minute. No, you're doing that wrong. I need to obviously take
Uh-huh.
over.
Uh-huh. Well, like I said on Ashley's podcast, Evelyn started playing 8U. There's no rotation of pitchers, players at all. No rotation
Yeah.
whatsoever. This is like rec, by the way. This isn't Little League. This is just rec league. Um, no rotation. She didn't pitch.
Yeah.
Started getting her into it, and it you know how it goes. Like you step away and you come back, and it's just like a little twitch about you, and you're just like,
Yeah.
shoot, it's happening.
Oh, yep.
And
Yep.
so I started working with her, playing catch with her, doing all the things in the backyard, right? And her 8U season didn't go great. But I'm like put your money where your mouth is kind of girl, you know?
Yeah.
So not necessarily money, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be that parent that complains. I'm just gonna get involved. I'm just gonna get involved. So I just started helping out with
100%.
yeah, I just started
Yeah,
helping
I'll
out with
just handle it.
yeah. I started helping out with the program. That was a rocky start. I ended up head coaching there, just like at the rec league, and I was okay with that. And then she showed some interest in travel. Travel ball was a rocky start. I
Yeah.
shared more about that on Ashley's podcast too. If you guys want to listen to that, because that's another hour podcast. We don't got time for that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you guys go listen to that. We'll put it in the link below. And I just started to get involved, and I just really I loved it. I liked coaching, and it kind of like hit me last year of like if I never got injured and then I would have never met Justin because I was disappointed in myself for a very, very long time. Because I just felt like I
Hmm.
could have gave you go back and forth. Could I gave it more? Could I have came back? What if I would have put my foot down and said like, but also the same sense. I was 19 years old. I was
Yeah.
19 years old and I had adults sitting there saying, you're fine. You're not injured. It's not that bad. You need to toughen up, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. It's because you're weak. It's because you're not strong. All the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, if I would have never got injured, because I literally 6 months out of like it was like shortly after meeting Justin,
Yeah.
here comes Ev. And,
Right.
if I would have never got injured, never came home on the weekends because I didn't have friends at Toledo because they were all playing ball,
Yeah.
and I would have never met him, never had Ev, never had the life we have now,
Right.
all the
Right.
things. So, similar to yours is definitely a lot crazier than mine. I give you a lot more credit because I was not waking up. I was not, but I do remember, like because I was freshly coming out of that season of life
Yeah.
and waking up with the baby at 4:30 in the morning because she needed to eat or change or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was born for this. Like I can do this because this is what I just did. Like
I've been
I,
waking up at 4:30 for the last four
yeah,
years. Yeah.
I know how to do this. This is a piece of cake, right? It was not a piece of cake. Holy cow.
No.
No, motherhood is a whole that's why like I know what Evelyn was like as a baby. I don't know how you did it in the mix of both, right? But you just do.
Yeah.
You just do it. And
Yeah.
we have those conversations all the time. Even in today's world, we just do it. You just get it done.
Right.
So yeah, Evelyn started playing. So yeah, now I coach. In the like in the mix of all that, I started being I am the varsity assistant coach for our where the kids go to school at. Loved
Yeah.
it. So I get to coach two different ages, which is super fun.
Well, you're
Um,
heavy into coaching, and I love that because like when we first met, I didn't know that about you. That
no,
you
not
that you
because you met me in my makeup days, and not many people
Yes.
knew this heavy softball background that I had, you know?
And how does that
Which, by
when
the
did
way,
you
when we met, we were each other's hype girls, but in a whole different sense, right? Like
Yeah.
we were both in our makeup journey with Unique,
Yes.
and
Well,
we
and I wanted to ask you, like, okay, so Trisha, I mean, if you guys have been following her, she was heavy into Unique, top of the company, extremely successful, the makeup, the hair, the cute outfits, all the things. When did that shift for you to like what you do now? Because now you're like heavy coaching, heavy athletics, heavy like comfy mom clothes, and like and
well,
now I just feel like when did that
okay.
shift for you online? Because you were known for something online and it's slowly shifted to something else now. It's similar, but it's different. Does that make sense?
So I want to say you probably experienced this too with Unique. Did you feel like I've always been comfy casual? Like I
Yeah.
hate wearing high heels. I absolutely hate wearing high heels. We're all
Yeah.
Sasquatches, right? But did you
Yeah.
feel like at Unique that you had to be this full face, put together all the time person?
Yeah. Yes.
Like I didn't I didn't leave my house unless I was put together.
It's exhausting.
Like, dude, I went to Mexican Friday night in my sweatpants and sweatshirt, and Justin jokingly said, "You're wearing that?" I was like, "Do you want me to go get ready? Because it's gonna take me 2 hours." He's like, "No, no, no,
Yeah.
no." I'm like, "Do you want old me or you want new me? Which one you want?" Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I think 2020 did that to everybody. I don't think it was just me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
2020 did it. I was like, staying home, comfy sweats, let's go, right?
Yeah.
Um, So I think 2020 did that more or less than anything. And
Yeah.
that's when I stopped doing unique too at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, but my mom always said, like, Trisha can dress for the occasion. If I'm going to a rock concert, I'm gonna look like I'm going to a rock concert. Like, I've always
Yes.
been like that. It's always been part of my, like, thing, right? I can dress per occasion. And I've always been into fashion, whatever. But I've never been into high fashion. I've never been into designer. Little fun fact
Right.
about me,
Me
guys.
either.
I don't
Yeah.
have a designer purse. I could care less to have a designer purse. I spend my money on our hitting barn. Like that's where I
Yeah.
put my money.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I guess 2020 changed me a lot in a very good way. I think it changed a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Um, my online job, everything shifted. So little fun, so for everybody that know, I was a photographer for 10 years. We had Evelyn, got married, had Bodie, thought we were done having kids, had a midlife crisis at 28 because I was like, I'm not done having babies. I want to have one more. Plus, it moved really fast for me. Really, really, really
Yeah.
fast. I know you can relate. Moved really, really fast. And I was like, I'm not done having babies. And then from 28 to 30, I begged my husband because we did get married. And I was like, I want another baby. And Justin's like, you're so busy with photography. How are you going to have time for another baby? And I was like, I'll quit doing weddings and I just won't do weddings. And that time my
Yeah.
online career is picking up with Unique and then moving into what I do now. And so I quit doing weddings and we got pregnant with Hayes, had him in 2019, then 2020 hits. And at that time too, the kids get involved in sports. I grew up playing sports. That's all I know. And
Hmm.
so I just think it was like one big shift, right? One big
Yeah.
shift of
One.
things.
Yes.
And really, but I remember I texted my mom a couple weeks ago and I was like, I feel so blessed that the two things that I really loved and enjoyed as a kid have now came full circle in my career. I really
Yeah.
loved softball and I really loved fashion and like that kind of stuff.
You do both.
And I do both.
It's why it's actually very impressive that you were able to turn your two loves into a full-blown career
It is
online.
a full blown career.
But how do you, so as a coach, like you post a lot of your coaching content and things like that
Well, that
with your
just
Diamond Heat team. How do you
yeah.
handle, do you get pushback from people
Oh yeah.
online?
Oh yeah.
How do you handle that mentally? Like, because you're an empathetic person like I am.
I
I
know.
don't like confrontation. So how do you handle putting that kind of stuff online and then people just jabbing at you?
Well, like let's go back to the M Live thing. It fuels my fire. Like
Yeah.
anytime I have anybody, I dealt with some stuff last year, coaching some fake accounts, and I know who it is, but I'm not even going to entertain
Yeah.
it because if you're taking time out of your day, first of all, as a parent that has a child that plays a game and you're hating on somebody, your focus is wrong, first of all.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Second of all, it says more about you than it does about me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
You're so right. That's a good mindset to have.
yeah, so like if that's what you are spending your time making fake accounts and just hating on us and whatever, in any negative aspect, even if you're not making fake accounts in any aspect, whether you're a kid or an adult, and if there are kids listening, like You have time, like I'm a big like time is money, right?
Hmm.
Let's say not your child and you're not making money, right? If you are hating on other people online, what could you be doing better with your time? Could you be better? Could you be working on your spins? Could you be hitting the ball? Could you be doing tee work, field work, throwing work, right? Could you be doing more mindset stuff? And that's where again, it says more about you than me. I know I mean, our team definitely has gained some social media attention, but it's fun. The point of my videos is just to show how fun this game is, how
Right.
exciting, how much like you can have playing, but the personalities, I have a very big personality team. I have a lot of personalities on my team. I have a group of, again, we picked up three. We've had a core of eight, some different dynamics of their personalities, all fun, all goofy. And if anything, I want to show that these young girls and anybody, really not just my girls, that like be yourself, have fun. And if that instills confidence in them, then I've done my job as a coach. Like
Right.
it ain't like it's not about, yes, it's about pitching and hitting the ball and fielding and throwing. But at the end of the day, what our jobs is to teach these girls to be good humans, work hard through adversity. Because I always tell this game, I tell my girls, this game will eat you up and spit you out if you let it. I say that
Uh-huh.
all the time. They're to the point where they finish my sentence.
Yeah.
And because it will, like if you get caught up in all the nonsense, and it's hard. Last year was hard.
Yeah.
But I love it. One of my dads on my team said, because one time I said it in a game because this coach was being just ridiculous to his girls, and my girls were like, all like, wow, like he's over the top. And I could tell it was taking their attention. Not
Hmm.
like he wasn't yelling at my girls, he was yelling at his girls, but I could tell my girls were taking their attention towards it. And
Yeah.
granted, like I get mad on the field. Like there are things that tick me off on the field, like piss me
Right.
right off. Okay. I
Oh
have
yeah.
bad umpires. Like there are things where I'm like, mm-mm, like,
Yeah.
and I think one of the kids one time said I had a D1 crash out. I was like, okay, well, I didn't think that was that bad, but whatever.
He won crash out. These
Yeah, I
kids
know.
are
It was a
funny.
comment on one of the YouTube videos, like, nah, bruh. I saw her have a D1 crash out during that game because to this day, we were still right. The count was wrong. The umpire had the count wrong. Nor here nor there. That's
Yeah.
adversity. It's adversity.
Yeah.
It's about life is unfair. And this game will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. Like I say that all the time.
Absolutely.
But am I going to be that coach that fights for her girls? Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely, I will. So, I don't know.
So how would you describe your coaching style then? 3 words. You got 3 words.
Oh,
What's your
shoot.
coaching style?
Fun.
Okay,
Um,
I would agree.
fun. Fun's number one. Um, empathetic.
Yeah. You're
Mm,
you're on it. You're on it.
spicy.
Okay, I like the third one. Those are good words. Those are
Yeah,
really good
because
words.
and like there's times where I am like I got after and we had a round robin scrimmage this last weekend and we were just flat, which the girls were nervous. I have new girls, learning each other, personalities, learning the new girls are learning how we coach. They're learning each other. We have girls in new positions, like rotation, all the things, right? But I got stopped a couple times this last week and I was like, man, your guys' team's fun to watch. Your energy's great. Your energy's great. Like
Yeah.
you guys are, a spunky little team. You're gritty. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not about the wins and of course you want to win. Of
Yeah.
course you want to win. Like when
Yeah, we hate
parents are
losing.
like, all she cares about winning. I'm like, well, I sure the hell hope so. Sure the hell hope
Right.
so. If
Right.
you're not, what's the reward? You can develop and develop and develop and develop and develop, but what is the reward at the end of the
Right.
day? These girls aren't
Right.
showing up just to get their butt handed to them every single game. That's
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah. Winning's fun. Don't
Winning's
don't you can't
fun.
tell me winning's not fun.
No. And
Okay. I was just had a question. So how do you balance pushing your players? Like, because you guys are gritty. You have a really good and talented team. So how do you balance pushing them to that level to be that good, but also keep their love for the game? What do you think that comes from, like the videos and the things that you do in the
I
dugout,
mean,
or?
I mean, I have some fun personalities, but I just hang out with them. Like I don't like we were killing the team the last game. Oop, are you still there? All right, Alexa's having a hard time finding her computer died and the charger won't turn on. So it is what it is. Again, if you are going to be here, it is going to be messy. We probably should add that into the title. Dugouts and daughters, and we're kind of messy. I mean, what mom does have their life together? And if you do, write a book because I'm going to read it. So bear with us. We are going to have to we'll do more on deck questions in the next pod. I know we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We already know the topic of next discussion. It's going to be about pitching and practicing and commitment and what it takes to be really good at this game. So, and things that we're seeing, things we learned. Obviously, we both have crazy stories to go along with where we're at. Um, so yeah, we hope you guys enjoy this. And again, if you have questions, answer them down below or type them down below, and we'll get them to them in the next pod in the on deck questions at the end of the podcast. So thanks for tuning in. And we appreciate you guys. See you guys later. Bye.
That wraps up this episode of Dugouts to Daughters. Thanks for spending time with us and being part of this community of moms, athletes, and coaches who get what this journey is all about.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share with a fellow softball mom who could use this in her earbuds today. Until next time, keep showing up for your girls and keep playing like a girl, always.